welcome back, one of Africa's top 40 under 40 women. MaryBen Omollo, good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Double O Direct.
Thank you, and it's so glad to be back here.
So much is happening with you. Like, I cannot keep up. Like, so much is happening with you. Mm-hmm. Why don't you give me a brief overview of your current professional roles?
Oh, yes.
I think that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, really. So, like you said, my name is MaryBen Omollo. I'm an entrepreneur, mental health advocate, and also I'm a speaker. And so currently...
You're an entrepreneur?
Yes.
In what?
I actually run a cleaning and pest control company.
Okay.
Yes.
You are a mental health advocate?
Yes.
Where?
In Nairobi. Actually, not only in Nairobi, I do it across the globe, across Africa.
How?
I reach out. There are people who reach out to me through the social media. They've heard about my story because every day I write about my story. I always say nobody deserves to die. So every day I wake up in the morning and the first thing I tell myself, I have 979 people I need to transform. I gave myself a target of 1,000 people. Yes. Okay. So far, we are at 979.
You're doing really well. You're doing really well. What was the third thing?
The third thing, I am also a speaker. I speak about women empowerment, youth and leadership, and also I speak about mental health.
When was your last talk?
My last talk was yesterday, actually. I was having it, it was a virtual one, and I was speaking to a guy from Zimbabwe.
No, tell me about it. I want to hear about this last talk and this gentleman from Zimbabwe.
Yesterday we were talking about mental health and women empowerment across Africa. What are the challenges we women face in entrepreneurship? What is our space on the table? How are we able to manage that? Being that a lot of women suffer from mental health, but we're able to speak out. Women are vocal, unlike men. Men don't speak out. And that's why you see a lot of men die as compared to women. And we were trying to see how will we be able to manage or rather balance women empowerment and men empowerment, because right now everywhere is all about women empowerment, and women, we are becoming so passionate about it. Yes.
Fantastic. So moving on to your ambassadorial role, how did that come about?
I didn't expect it though. And I was shocked that when World Leader Summit reached out to me. World Leader Summit is based in India, and they hadn't invented in Kenya. So they were trying, not only in Kenya, in Africa. So they were trying to reach out to people who will be able to introduce World Leader Summit in Africa.
So what does the World Leader Summit, before we get into your role, since now it's actually a new organization on the continent, what did they do?
They run 3 different organizations. There's an innovation side, there's now the empowerment side, and there's the mentorship side. Yes. So I'm actually in both the 3. And when they reached out, they looked at my platform and profile, and they wondered what could I do, because at first they were reaching out for startups, and they realized, oh, she's actually in the space of women empowerment. And we are trying to see, you've noticed funding for women hasn't been so easy. And for the past 5 years, we've tried to bring women in this global platform. So they looked at my profile, and they realized now, because I'm in women empowerment, this is going to be a great platform to support and empower different women. And being that I'm a young woman, upcoming young woman, it becomes easy for even youth to look up to me. It becomes even easy for women who are much older than me to look up to me and say, if she's in this space and she's able to bring these opportunities to us, it's going to be easy. So with World Leader Summit, we are trying now to empower women across Africa in terms of startup funding, equity, and also NRVP.
So I'm a young woman, or generally I'm a woman, hypothetically, because I'm not a young woman. So hypothetically, I'm this young woman who's seeking funding for, some entrepreneurship, some business project, right? How would I work with you and the World Leader Summit in order to acquire that?
The first step is through mentorship. We have to look at your business. Is it fundable? Is it scalable? Because people will come up with ideas that they've copied from another person, and it doesn't work with them. So the first step is mentorship. We mentor you. We try to see, is it relatable? Are you relatable to your own business idea? If you're not relatable to it, we try and empower you to what you're so passionate about. I tell people the first step into business is be passionate about your business. If you're passionate about it, it is so easy for you to scale it up. So we mentor you. After mentorship, we take you through the accelerator program. After the accelerator program, now it comes to funding. So it becomes a process.
What is the duration of the accelerator program?
Accelerator program takes about a month.
Wow, that is really accelerated.
Yes. Actually, the first 1 week is for the training, and then after training, now we start equipping you for it. So within a month, we're able to weigh your strengths and weaknesses, and then we see how we're coming in.
We're talking to MaryBen Omollo. She holds many hats. She's such an achiever. And what is your current role at Green Seal?
Actually, I'm the CEO of Green Seal Limited.
And what is it?
Green Seal, it's a cleaning and pest Green Seal is a cleaning and pest control company in Kenya.
Yes.
And what makes us stand out is that we work with young single mothers. Purely. And 90% of our employees are young single mothers.
Define young.
When I say young is relative, but between 18 to 35.
18 to 35. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We work with young single mothers. And
are they on contract? Are they casuals? Because of course, with the cleaning and pest control work, it's maybe some is on contract, but a lot is just on the fly. And from time to time, you might need more or less people. Yeah. So how do these young single mothers get in touch with you? And how do you retain them and work with them?
Actually, it's both. There are those who are on contract and there are those who are on casual basis, because you get, at times you can get, like just the way you said, at times you can get a huge workload and we will need more people to come in. But I have like 12 permanent ones, and I have a set of almost 50 who comes in as a casual. And it has been a great journey, being able to connect with them, understand their pain, understand how the society view them. You see, one problem we have with the society is that even on social media, you can see they're being mocked. People keep on talking single mothers this, single mother that, and they don't understand the pain they go through. So I saw a need in the market about them, and I asked myself, what can we do? Because I believe in order for me to exist as a businesswoman, I need to exist to solve a need. And we saw the need in the market, and it has been so amazing. Doing CSR is our passion as Green Seal. We like saying we kill for a living and we mend hearts for a living.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah. So what happens? How are their children cared for while they're working with you? Because of course they're single mothers. Yeah. Who's taking care of the children?
Majority of them take their kids to baby care, and we've tried to look for a way to solve it out, because we want to open a community for them, in that if they're going for work, we're able to take care of their children. They'll be able to be put in our own daycare. And that's why we are proceeding to the foundation, whereby we will not only take care of the mother, but we'll be able to take care of the children. One thing about our society is that when you look at the upcoming generation, there's a bit of a disconnect between the millennials and the Generation Z. Why? Because they're left to just defend, or rather depend on themselves. So we want to change that narrative. We want to give them a better education system, even if it's training. When their mom are being trained and go to work, we will remain with the kids, train them, and just give them the hope that they need. One thing we lack is hope. If you don't have hope, your destiny is destroyed. But if you're given hope and you're able to see, this is where I have to go, this is where I want to be, it becomes so easy to just change the whole community.
So how can people get in touch and work with Green Seal?
They can either send us an email on info@greenseal.com, or just go to our social media pages and just send us an inbox. Our social media pages are across all the social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter is Green Seal Cleaners and Pest Controllers, or even on Google page, we're there.
I love it. I love it. Moving away from your role as CEO of Green Seal, you have a recent appointment as Kenya Country Manager for AFYEF. What is the actual title?
Actually, I was the national coordinator for AFYEF, and
national coordinator for Kenya.
Yes. And recently I've been promoted to be the vice president, the first vice president for AFYEF, Eastern and Central Africa.
So AFYEF is a Pan-African organization.
Yes, it is.
And regionally, you cover Eastern and Southern Africa?
Eastern and Central. Yes.
Eastern and Central Africa. So tell me about AFYEF before we go into what your responsibilities are as vice president.
So AFYEF is actually after Young Entrepreneurs Federation, and we are mobilizing youths for the new AFTA. You've heard about AFTA. AFTA is trying to bring in the entire Africa into one trade, and it's one of the most amazing opportunities that African
When you say one trade, you
countries-
mean one economic bloc?
Yes, one economic bloc, and it's one of the best things that is going to happen in Africa, because you see, Africans, we've been programmed that we cannot make it in our own continent. But when you look at Africa, we are rich with our natural resources, be it gas, we get gas from Rwanda, be it tea, we get tea from Kenya, be it gold, we get it from Congo. But one thing we've not been trained is how to trade among ourselves. And now AFTA will now give us that opportunity to trade among ourselves. And what is AFYEF? AFYEF now is the baby to AFTA. It's giving an opportunity to the young youths and women, because there are those SMEs who are not able to
directly engage
yes,
with AFTA.
With AFTA. So AFYEF is now coming in to bring the youth and the women to that space, train them, equip them, and just give them the funding opportunities we need.
I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. More on that in a bit. With LinkedIn guru MaryBen Omollo. How did you get on LinkedIn?
Actually, someone gave me an advice. I
Yeah.
had gone for a job interview, and the person asked me, "Are you on LinkedIn?" I said, "No, and I don't want to be on LinkedIn." And he said, "It's a best
Oh, wait a
place
minute,
to
wait a
be."
minute. I cannot believe that you, LinkedIn guru, said you don't want to be on LinkedIn at some point.
Yes, actually, I told the guy I don't want to be on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
Yes, because he said it's a professional platform. And at that time, I felt like I don't deserve to be on LinkedIn. So I told him, no, thank you. And in fact, what I did, I went ahead, checked on LinkedIn, downloaded the app, just set up a small profile, and I disappeared. Shock on you. 3 years later,
Yes.
I found myself on LinkedIn.
Tell me about that transition and how you managed to grow your LinkedIn into the force it is now.
One important thing about LinkedIn is that most people don't even understand it, is that LinkedIn is a professional platform that connects individuals or professionals to diverse professionals in terms of different organization, different career growth development. And when I saw that I needed to be in this space to connect to different people who we share the same value, the same vision, the same mindset, I developed a passion for it. I had to sit down and check all my social media. Which one is it beneficial to me more? And I realized I just needed to be on LinkedIn. I needed to grow my career. I needed to grow my own business. I needed to have a self-growth development.
So would you say that you are a professional network influencer?
Yes, I am.
And what are the key messages on your LinkedIn?
Actually, I speak more again on women empowerment, youth leadership, and also for those who are looking for jobs. I literally help individuals just set up their own pages, how can I put it, how to market yourself.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people don't know how to market themselves, and they feel a bit inferior. If you want to market yourself, you don't want to speak about who you are. You're not even proud of yourself because you feel other people would look at you and feel like you're bragging. But if you have,
And that's a problem especially women have.
Yes.
You know, you find that they have all these amazing achievements, and yet no one ever knows about them.
People don't know because we are conditioned as women not to speak out. We feel like if we speak out, somebody else would feel like I'm bragging. And you feel like, no, I don't want people to know about
No,
my
I want people to
achievement.
know. I want people to know. I ran 30 kilometers yesterday. I was the first woman finisher. We ran from Machakos to Makueni. Thank you very much. Now you know.
And you see, it makes you feel nice about yourself.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. I tell people, this is your space. Feel good about yourself. Speak about yourself. You don't owe it to anyone. You owe it to yourself.
I agree with that. And moving away from LinkedIn slightly to the other digital platforms that most Kenyans use? I'm talking about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What is your relationship, especially professionally, with these platforms?
I joined Twitter some couple of years ago, and I didn't know how to use Twitter. But for the past 1 month, I have been a bit active on Twitter. And to be very honest, Twitter was a bit toxic for me. I know it works for other people, but it was a bit toxic for me. And I checked on Facebook. I've gotten a lot of clients from Facebook. So I felt like Facebook works more in terms of business. So we engage it on professional level in terms of our company page. And then Instagram. Instagram, each time we have events, engagements, I'm speaking at another platform, I post it there.
So how different is the content? Because a lot of young people have various platforms. We're just trying to make sure that they maximize use of each of these platforms. How varied is your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn content?
For LinkedIn is quite different because it's pure professional, literally professional. If you want to connect,
I wouldn't see your breakfast.
No, no. Unless I'm having a breakfast meeting with different
Michelle
professionals
Obama.
like you, I'll definitely
Thank
post
you for
it.
putting me. I'm saying Michelle Obama, and you're saying Olivia Otieno. Okay.
Exactly. Olivia, you've been in the market for the longest time, and there are people who are dying to meet you. So if I'm having a breakfast show with you, definitely I'll put it there. And we're going to have a good and a candid conversation. Definitely it's going to change someone else's life, someone who wants to grow in media, someone who's in the women empowerment space. What are we going to talk about? How are we going to influence their life? We put it out there.
Yes.
I would post a different content on Facebook.
Okay.
If I have to put our photo, it will be about us bragging, I've met Olivia, we've done this is what we're talking about. And it won't get a lot of engagement as compared to LinkedIn. So I tell people, if you want to connect with diverse mindset, if you want to connect with people you share the same value, people you look up to, people you want to associate with, go to LinkedIn.
How much time do you dedicate in total to your digital footprint, number one, and number two, specifically to LinkedIn?
Every day after my normal prayers and everything, between 9 a.m. to 10:30, I'm actually on LinkedIn. Because
you're on LinkedIn for an hour and a half?
For an hour and a half. Yes, literally.
Okay, what is your current followership or connections or whatever it is that's the LinkedIn equivalent?
I have about 34,620.
Oh, about. I think that's very specific.
Yes. And I get between 50 to 100 followers in a day.
Wow.
Yes.
And where do these followers find you? How do they find you?
Engagements. One of the best and amazing way to connect on LinkedIn is your engagement. What do you post? What are you telling people? How are you marketing yourself? And the most important thing is consistency. I tell people, I have learned, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I have learned consistency from smokers and drinkers. When they start...
Wait.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and therefore, but no. I don't drink, I don't smoke, but I've learned consistency, not from gym goers, not from church goers,
not from
students.
No. Because the first time they start, you don't see any difference. You don't even realize. But on the long run, some of them end up in rehab because they have been dead. They have been in it for a very long time. Consistency. And I tell people, consistency is not a habit, it's the law.
Okay. Consistency is not a habit, it's the law.
It's the law.
In what sense?
In your growth.
Okay.
If you go to the gym every day, you're always consistent.
Yes.
The first few months, you won't see any difference.
Yes.
But after 6 years, or rather after a year or few months later, you will see the results.
True.
Someone who goes to church every single day, they will not even see anything. They will get tired. But at the end of it all,
they'll get to heaven.
Exactly.
I don't know what the plan is with that.
To succeed on LinkedIn, your consistency. How often do you post? How often do you engage with people? How often do you react to other people's comments? For instance, if you're aspiring to be the best radio presenter, how often do I engage to your post as 00? And if I mean engagement, I'm not just coming in to post any shambolic thing. No. I have to engage you in a meaningful conversation, in strategic conversations. A lot of people don't know, if you just come and make a simple comment, you don't stand out. But if you make a comment, a strategic comment that makes you stand out, I'll be willing, or rather I'll be so curious to follow you back. And that takes you back to your profile. When I click on your profile, I'm clicking on your profile because I want to connect to you. I want to engage with you. I have seen this something that we can do together. So when I open your profile and I get your profile doesn't match what you spoke about, I will take a back step, because I would feel like there would be no strategic conversation going on between the two of us. And I always tell people, number one thing is your profile. Your profile is what sells you out to anyone. Literally, I met Vusi because of my profile. I have met amazing people on LinkedIn. I've met Tom Otieno. Tom Otieno is the country director of one of the best, or rather the biggest humanitarian organization in South Sudan. I met him through my profile, LinkedIn. I have met Honorable David Ocean through LinkedIn, my profile. So if you're just going to open a LinkedIn page, you just leave it like that open, nobody would want to connect with you. You send me a message, the first thing I look at is your profile.
Yes.
What am I going to gain, or what am I going to benefit from you?
Or what's the exchange going to be like? So while you're on the subject of profile, how do people get in touch with you? What is your LinkedIn profile, MaryBen?
It's Amb.MaryBen Omollo.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I actually, at first, to be honest, before I changed my name to Ambassador,
yes,
Ambassador MaryBen, I was a bit skeptical. I was
Yes.
like, what will people think? And I said, no, it's my achievement. So
You heard it. Ambassador MaryBen Omollo. You can find her on LinkedIn. Ambassador MaryBen Omollo was telling me the importance of using hashtags when you post on any social media, but especially on LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
But now moving to your work with AFYEF, you're the Vice President for East and Central Africa.
Yes.
How long have you held that position?
Actually, being the national coordinator for the past 6 months,
Okay.
being the Vice President, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So as national
Yes.
coordinator, what was your mandate and what was your impact in those 6 months?
Actually, for national coordinator, I was trying to bring in different youths from different background, to see how we're going to leverage on after once it's introduced, because Kenya is among the first countries to advocate for AFYEF, for after. And I was able to gather in between, actually I can say between 80 to 100 youths, and not only youths, but people in business, small, medium enterprise. We're about 100 in Kenya,
Yes.
with about 30 who've already registered as members.
So how do you become one of those 100, and to increase that number, and how do you register?
You can register. We have a platform online that you can register, but for now I would advise them to just reach out to me, either through any of my...
Give me the platform for AFYEF Direct. I'm cutting out the middleman or middlewoman. What's
Actually,
the
they can
direct line?
just go to our website, is www.afyef.org.
That's AFYEF.org.
Yes.
Is it simple? Do you have to pay?
Yes, you have to pay. Being a member is, if you want to be a full board member, is around 12,000. But if you want to just be a regular member, is 1,200. I normally tell people, you can start with the 1,200 one and veg it, or rather you can just gauge us and see, are we able to deliver? Because Africa...
So being a part of AFYEF as a member, you get access to funding, or you get access to markets, or you get mentorship. What is it that actually you get? What is the benefit?
Actually, you get access to all that you've stated. You get access to mentorship, you get access to funding, you get access to trainings. Actually, we're being trained by EcoBank. EcoBank has been one of our biggest investors. And then you also get access to market. We want to trade across the whole of Africa. We love shea butter in Kenya, and the best country that produces shea butter is Ghana. So it becomes easier for you as a Kenyan to trade with someone who does shea butter in Ghana. It becomes easier for someone in Ghana who wants tea leaves, or someone in Chad who wants meat. In fact, we are trying now to bring everyone as a small mid enterprise, all of them together, for us to have it for it to become a success.
What is the role of technology, and specifically digital technology and fintech for AFYEF? Because what you've mentioned are actual physical products. You've talked about tea, you've talked about shea butter. What about the youth and the small entrepreneurs in the tech industry?
Actually, when it comes to tech industry, you can agree with me. Western Africa are the best when it comes to tech.
I am going to disagree with you wholeheartedly.
Why?
Because I have Kenyan friends who are in tech and they will be written. I'm just kidding. Continue.
One of the best thing I realized when I traveled to the west side, they've been given brains. Those guys are so brilliant when it comes to tech, and we are trying now to merge Western Africa and Kenya to see how they're able to marry the two, how we're able to marry the two countries to promote our tech industry. Kenya has been a bit slow with the tech. Right now we are rising, and when we bring a different mind.
People are sitting thinking, what are you saying? We are the home of M-Pesa, a global phenomenon.
Actually, when you compare M-Pesa with Flutterwave has hit Africa more than M-Pesa.
Weren't they recently sort of like cautioned by the central bank?
Yes, they were actually cautioned. And one of the things we are trying to wage is it competitive
We're going to pause
market?
because that is going to get into some very murky waters, right? That's getting some very murky waters. Go to AFYEF.org, irrespective of the business that you are in. If you want to grow, if you want to find a Pan-African footprint or get out of Kenya in general, I think that's a great place to start.
Yes, it is. In fact, next week, we're going to have a conference in Tanzania for Africa, AFYEF, and after women. And our president, our Tanzanian president, she's actually our chair in terms of after women.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity for Africa and Eastern Africa.
Wrap up this conversation with Ambassador MaryBen Omollo. In fact, I'm going to change your contact on my phone to Ambassador. No, I love it. No, I love it. So we're talking about the importance of personal branding.
Yes.
We're talking about the importance of having a professional networking platform for yourself, especially something like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
What are some of the key messages you can give to women, and especially young women who want to engage professionally, as to how to use this platform?
Number one, I would say it's setting up your profile.
What is a must to have on your profile? Give me bullet points.
A must to have on your profile is be authentic with who you are. Don't lie on the professional platform. If you're a marketer, just write you're a marketer. And I tell people, number one, when I ask you...
Wait. If you're a marketer, write you're a marketer, as opposed to writing what?
You get someone just writes, not even marketing, you get someone has nothing on their profile. Literally the name and location, name and like 00 Nairobi, that's it.
Okay.
Yes.
But how are some of the ways people lie on these platforms? Like,
you can get someone, you see like people lie on their CV, you can get someone that's just written as CEO of this and that, or you get someone as written
of a fake company that
exactly,
they made up.
That it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
In as much as we like saying that you visualize where you want to be. But this is a professional platform. If you're a marketer, just write a marketer. If you've won any award, just write the award that you've won. This is what makes you stand out. This is what makes you feel even proud of yourself.
Yes.
If you... Even the photo you're using there, use a professional photo, not a selfie, not a very, the photo that you can put.
No, very what? What a very what?
Not a photo that you can post on Snapchat or on TikTok.
Okay.
You go and put it on
Picture your office.
You just put a professional.
But if that's your work.
Okay.
Okay, moving back. I have more points.
So you put it up there. Number two now is how do you engage people? Strategic engagements.
Yes.
That's content. What kind of content are you posting? If you're a marketer, post content about marketing. If you're a woman empowerment, post content about women empowerment. If you're an event organizer, just post content about women the event organizing. And one thing I normally tell people, in as much as you're putting a professional content, put a content that touches people's emotions.
Okay.
Yeah. People don't buy because that dress is nice. People buy from an emotion point of view. Write something that relates to our day-to-day activities. What has made me grow so much, or rather so fast on LinkedIn, is about emotions, posting on what relates to us.
What about backlash? You talked about the toxicity of Twitter, for example. Have you encountered any backlash with regards to what you've been posting or what you post on LinkedIn?
Yes, I have. Actually, remember during this election period, we were congratulating all the women who've been nominated.
Yes.
And I had posted
elected.
Elected. I had posted the photo of our very honorable Martha Karua, and someone literally insulted me on LinkedIn. Literally.
I'm not getting the connection between elected women leaders and Martha Karua right now.
Yes, I know. You see, like, appreciating the people who've been nominated and elected. So I had to post a photo just congratulating her. And I remembered someone insulted me. And the best way to deal with such people on any platform, be it LinkedIn, be it Facebook or Twitter, you don't have to lower yourself to that level of
Do you respond or you just ignore it?
I ignore it.
Okay.
At times it's good to just ignore. You don't have to act or react on everything. Once we start exchanging words, it shows who I am.
Yeah, I recently got some communication that I just decided to ignore as well.
Yeah, just ignore it. And when you ignore it, it doesn't ruin your peace. It's the other person who will be wondering, this lady never responded. So you just assume. I always say, what gets into you is what affects you, not from the outside. How you react to it, how you act to it, it's what literally weighs you down.
So we've talked about the importance of your profile. What about the content you post? You know, Twitter is all about the words, Instagram is all about the photos, TikTok's all about the videos. What sort of content captures people on LinkedIn?
Professionalism.
Okay.
Yes, professionalism. You post about your achievements. You post about the next project you're going to do.
But does it matter whether it's written, picture, video? Does any of that matter?
It doesn't matter. As long as you can put, you see, human beings are visual. When you put that video, I'm able to relate. You can put a very funny video and you write the daily lives of an entrepreneur. We're able to relate, even if it's a baby who's struggling to climb on top of a seat. The baby keeps on struggling the first, the second, the third time, the fifth time the baby manages to climb on top. That is consistency and
then the mother comes and puts them right back down. And they're like, oh my goodness, I've been spending half my day trying to get up here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is consistency and determination. So we are able to relate to it. The sweetest part about LinkedIn, you're able to relate on everything. As long as as long as it's not abusive.
Yes.
It's better. People can relate to it. Your photos. You can be here in the studio and you just write another comment about your work, about the guest you're going to interview.
So it's really a social platform,
yes,
but for professional use.
Yes.
Who are the Kenyans on LinkedIn that you most would like to connect with?
Peter Ndegwa.
Okay. He was here the other day.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would want to connect to the CEO of Equity.
Okay.
I would want
James Mwangi.
Yes.
Okay.
I always look at him every day and I tell myself, I'm going to
What about their COO?
Version.
He recently got reappointed.
He serves the living God. He serves the living God.
With that, we're going to take a break and then come back with Ambassador MaryBen Omollo.